Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and you join me nearly so late into the night. I'm not even certain if it was a good idea to start this, but you know what? Who am I talking about? It's always a good day to start one of these. So, I welcome all of you back, ladies and gentlemen, for another Rage video, where tonight, ladies and gentlemen, your master of reality, your bastard warrior child of the bespoken word, the antisocial society is here, and we are ready because we are now almost approaching the halfway point in Machine Head's The More Things Change album. An album I've kind of had something of a bit of a mixed reaction to, which is because the things that stand out are really, really good on their own. I can't underestimate exactly how good the really good parts are about this album. And the bad parts aren't necessarily too bad in my opinion. They're just sort of really not my sort of style. I figure that's the better way for it. However, Spine appears to maybe be a reason for this, because 6 minutes 40 for one song, when most of the other stuff has been around about like the 3.5 minute mark, that's leaving me curious just to see what we get, because I wouldn't put it past Machine Head if they could make a near 7 minute song literally go from 0 to 100 within seconds and then stay that way for the rest of the album, for the song I should say. The problem when you do that is that you're going to keep that up for 7 minutes. You've got to have something, you have to change things. You have to really, just take a look at the Four Horsemen. That's like the perfect example of how you keep a song that length not only interesting, but you can rock out to it for hours. And there's plenty of other examples, don't get me wrong. It's just that was literally the very first thing that came into mind. So, with all that being said and done, if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, links will all be in the description down below. Let's begin. Spine in 3, 2, 1, and... Justice is progress to govern my contested ways. As a child arrested, as a man detested, happiness inside my brain. You hate my life because you see my stuff, could never understand or try. And it makes me mad because it makes me simple. I don't care why. Your favorite makes me think from me. Wow. Don't lie it, let's try it. My dignity, I see right through your soul. Can't help but feeling strong, but they say they need so. I see right through your soul. Can't help but feel this cold. Understand they need soul. And I feel with deception, unwanted inception, want me. And the thing is beginning to buffer. I suppose, you know what? While we've got this time, while we're dealing with this slight technical issue, can I just say for the record, this is exactly what I've been talking about. This is the sort of thing I absolutely would love to see more out of Machine Head. It kind of feels deliberately slower, but I think that's exactly the point. It's the slower it goes, the more it can build on things. some things were a little bit like if things were like too fast before, this is like for me like the sort of speed I could get behind, because not only does it make the really really hard riffs like it like sinks in a lot better with it like sinks in, it like reverberates off the walls. It's a very uncanny sort of experience, and I don't want to say the lyrics are simplistic, but they sort of build up again on things we've discussed before. It's the fact that this guy is going through the motions. He is experiencing hatred, and he doesn't understand why, which is absolutely, I think, one of the disarming things about hatred is that sometimes you experience it without really understanding why. Managed to catch a fly. Anyway, that's now I think we can like resolve the issue, so let's resume the action.
Because I feel the strain in my ass, it's all gone wrong. We'll rise above from this black and love it won't be long now. You're faking, mistaken, forbidden. Wow, you're lying, let's try it, back in the pain. I see right through your soul. Can't help but feel it cold, but this didn't make me so. I see right through your soul. Can't help but.
And again, once we go through this, you know what? I've got a better idea. I'm gonna like just refresh this and see what we get. I apologize for this in advance. I don't want to like make this like, you know, break up the song too much, so please wait while we get past this. Don't worry, guys. I see right through your soul, can't help but feel this cold, but this city made me so. I think the first and the last things I will say, because I get it. Is it the invite? I spoke about this ironically a couple of days ago when I was talking about Rush. Is it the world makes you, or do you make the world? I say these things because you could certainly hear Rob Flynn seems very apathetic about the idea, because not only is he being exposed to perhaps this level of violence, or he's been accepted to the idea that the only thing he knows is to experience pain, and not just because it's happened all too often to him, but he knows he's gone through the motions, and that's like that's one of the understated things that some victims do leave on people. Well, rather that perpetrators leave on their victims, is that it leaves them feeling confused, betrayed, upset, sad. They even said it all the way in the beginning. How did it go again? Bitterness infested, justice is molested, govern my contested ways. As a child arrested, as a man detested, happiness inside my pain. Possibly it goes from a child being abused, and now, what do you do now? It almost seems like we're almost going the other way around. A child arrested, maybe it's like the child inside that guy. Maybe this is like a song like that's like almost coming full circle. A guy was abused as a child, and now he abuses another child, or he abuses somebody in front of a child. Maybe that's probably what it's going for. And spine, maybe this guy is lacking a spine, perhaps in the sense that he's doing cowardice things and doing the things that you would never expect somebody to do who had a pair. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that was awesome. Hey, and I got a rush shirt as well. And it's like, again, the little things like that, the like, it sounds just like the very rustic tuning of a guitar. Stuff like that, just, it works because it fits into the very rough, the very raw feel that I think any great metal song should have. There's something that, and I think it's more to do with how heavy and how harder that Machine Head go from like stuff in the past. But I think it's they will do tactics like that. And I think it works to the strength because it's meant to feel raw. It's meant to feel real. It's meant to. It's like all the emotions, they boil to the surface, and when you find them down, you'll get something that would sound like Machine Head. You take all of the best elements, or you take all of the things that have worked, and you simplify them again. You do this specifically as the way Machine Head have done, so that you get something that sounds as powerful as this and as strong as this. And that solo was awesome. What can I say? And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That was Spine by Machine. Actually, you know what? I'll cut straight to the point. That, ladies and gentlemen, was my favourite song so far from Machine Head. Because, at the risk of like not repeating myself too much with what I've said already, it's raw, it's heavy. The lyrics go hard as well, and I'm now starting to see what exactly people were talking about. about how it's the reflections of pain, suffering, but it's done, and I think this is where it fits the tone perfectly. The music, Rob's half screaming, half shouting the lyrics in disgust, because I don't know too much about like Rob Flynn's like upbringing or maybe his background, but I'm gonna go on a line whether it was him, Logan, Adam, or Dave. They probably got some first-hand experience, or they've seen enough, or they've felt enough of this just to understand. I think there was also, I think I may have mentioned this, there's also a song that I really, really like called Mud Shovel by a band called Stain. And they seem to like talk a lot about like the same sort of stuff that I've heard out of Machine Head, in particular Spine and 10 Ton Hammer. But this one feels a lot heavier than that. This feels not only remarkably genuine, but also I get it. I resonate with this, because who out there hasn't felt, like they've been knocked down and had their teeth kicked in? This is the song for the underdog. Those who've been beaten down, those who've been told they're never gonna make it, and people on look and they hate our lives simply because who would really want a life where you're kicked into the dirt? Nobody would want that, and again, nobody would even like it for the person who's even doing the kicking. I don't really have a lot else to say about this, but this is like the first time where I mean that in the best way, because Spine is easily one I'm going to be able to listen to again. And because, interestingly enough, I've took back and listened to stuff like, what was it, like Take My Scars and like, it was Struck a Nerve, Down to None, and The Frontliners. I've had the opportunity to like listen to them again just to see and they do get better on a second listen. Parts of them do, but Spine is absolutely awesome the first time around. There's not much else I can say about that. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this reaction video. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys thought of Spine for yourselves by Machine Head, and I will look forward to all of you guys again in the next video. Take care. Bye bye for now.